If you're feeling overwhelmed by all of the information being thrown at you surrounding the coronavirus pandemic in Israel, stay calm. We're going to break down everything you need to know.
How many people have coronavirus in Israel?
As of this very moment, 3 p.m. on March 17th, 2020, there are an estimated 324 known cases of coronavirus in Israel, but that number will probably have risen by the time that you watch this.
But what are the symptoms?
Coronavirus is a respiratory illness. A person who has the coronavirus usually develops a fever, fatigue, and a cough. Shortness of breath, aches and pains, a sore throat, headaches, and other mild symptoms are also possible, but are less common. But symptoms vary based on the person, and some people who get the virus don't even exhibit any symptoms at all. So it's important to note that coronavirus symptoms usually take an average of 5 to 6 days to appear.
Is that why Israel is advocating for social distancing?
Exactly. The Israeli government wants as many people as possible to stay home so that they stay away from one another and it's harder for the disease to spread. They're asking for people to stay at least 2 meters or 6.5 feet away from one another in public spaces, because even if you aren't exhibiting coronavirus symptoms and feel healthy, you could still have the disease and be spreading it.
So how does the coronavirus actually spread?
Coronavirus spreads through droplets of bodily fluids like saliva or mucus. It can be spread through coughing or sneezing on someone else or touching a surface where the virus still lives and then touching your mouth or nose or your eyes.
What happens if I get the coronavirus? Am I gonna die?
Right now, statistics show that the vast majority of cases are not life-threatening. 80% of cases are mild. Only 20% of cases can manifest into something that's more severe that requires hospitalization and being put on ventilators. And as of now, only between 1 to 2% of cases lead to death. But remember, that rate is much lower for young people and much higher for seniors. And those who have unmanaged underlying chronic diseases also have a tougher time overcoming the coronavirus. Even if you aren't in a risk group, by exposing yourself to others, you are putting lives at risk. So keep that in mind every time you go out.
I think I have the coronavirus. What should I do?
Do not go to the emergency room or a local health clinic. The Israeli Health Ministry is urging those who think they might have the coronavirus to call 101 or star 5400. That's the Magen David Adom emergency service or the Israeli Health Ministry. And medics will come to your house to administer lab tests. That way, in case you are sick, you won't spread the infectious disease any further.
So what are the latest regulations in Israel to slow down the spread of the disease? Is Israel going into full lockdown?
No, as of now, Israel's not going into full lockdown. Israeli Economy Minister Eli Cohen says Israel is still considering the possibility to further slow the spread of the disease, but no decision has been made yet.
So do I need to run to the supermarket and stock up on food?
No, supermarkets and pharmacies will remain open. There's no need to panic. There will not be a food shortage in Israel. Food is still being imported into Israel from abroad, and Israel has enough local agricultural resources to self-sustain.
So what will stay open?
All essential services will stay open. That includes healthcare centers, security services, police units, the postal service, and banks.
What are the businesses that need to close?
As of now, all places of leisure have to close. We're talking malls, restaurants, bars, dance clubs, massage and beauty salons, gyms, pools, amusement and water parks, heritage sites, retail and clothing shops, basically any place that you would go to enjoy yourself. Also schools, universities, kindergartens, and after-school activities are also shuttered, and it's forbidden to go to parks, playgrounds, the beach, libraries, museums, or other public places. Just because you're working from home, it doesn't mean you're on vacation.
Okay, but can I still walk my dog?
Yes, you are allowed to walk your dog, but just so he can do his business, and then it's straight back home.
Can I still order takeout?
As of now, yes, restaurants that provide takeout services are allowed to keep on delivering food as long as there are 10 or less people working in their business.
What about hanging out with my friends?
The Israeli government is banning gatherings of 5 people or more, so keep that in mind if you meet up with anybody.
Is public transportation still running?
Public transportation lines traveling towards food, shopping centers, healthcare centers, and workplaces will continue to operate, but night lines going towards education systems and entertainment centers will be canceled, and also bus stops at non-essential locations will be canceled. And passengers are also no longer allowed to use cash. They can only pay with their Rav-Kav travel card. Also, stay away from the driver and out of the first row of seats.
Are public sector government offices still functioning?
Yes, but 80% of their staff are now being placed on paid leave.
What about private sector businesses and companies?
Businesses and companies that have 10 or more people are required to curb their in-office staff by 70%. Bosses and CEOs can choose to either put their workers on unpaid or paid leave, create shifts, or have people work from home. You have to talk to your boss to see what's up. And if your company has 10 or less people, it's business as usual for now.
What happens if I'm on unpaid leave? Do I get any government benefits?
Yes, the Israeli Finance Ministry has just announced that people who are put on unpaid leave have access to improved unemployment benefits. Now, instead of having to have been employed for at least a year to be eligible for unemployment, those who have only been employed for 6 months are now eligible for unemployment.
What if I'm a freelancer or I have my own small business?
It's just been announced that Israel will also be distributing grants of up to 6,000 shekels for freelance workers and small businesses that are taking a hit. Small business owners will also be able to defer their property tax, water, national insurance, and electricity bills. And if they can't make the payments, banks will also be offering loans to small and mid-sized businesses.
I have a mortgage I need to pay. Will the bank help me in any way?
Banks will also be offering a delay in mortgage payments for a few months.
Are banks still working?
Yes, and so are ATMs. Also, banks are expanding digital services for remote transactions so that even people in quarantine can get the help that they need.
I've been ordered into home quarantine, but is it an actual requirement? What will happen if I break it?
It is legally binding if the health ministry orders you to go into self-quarantine. If you violate instructions, you could face up to 7 years in jail and up to 5,000 shekels in fines. Plus, Israel has created a police unit that is dedicated to tracking down quarantine breakers, so don't be one of them.
Who should I call if I have questions about the coronavirus in Israel?
You can call the Health Ministry's coronavirus hotline at star 5400, or you can call your health insurance provider or personal physician. So, on that note, stay safe, friends, socially distance yourself, and flatten that curve.